Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, Simplecast, Castbox. Thank y'all for tuning in the way that you do. I don't know if everybody got to see the Apple talks was last week or this week. They announced their new clip of products. Shit about to get spooky out here.
Real spooky.
But in the beautiful part is about when Apple's announcing their products. If you're not really tapped in, you can not. Wait a minute. What? Is this, y'all still see me? That was weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
It's like your green screen got pulled down.
Right now?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all can't see me?
No, we can see you. We got your background now.
Oh shit. I'm naked. What's the have y'all seen the thing when Winnie the Pooh shit get his that nigga step from behind the shit, he don't have no pants on?
Nah.
Like nigga, you ain't had no pants on the whole time. Don't.
Yeah, I wonder was in that honey batch that he took, boy. Yeah, smooth edible.
That is funny. I don't even know how to sign back.
It's like, wait a minute, I've been naked this whole time.
like Pooh. Check this out, player. You've been damn, that's weird. That should just sign me out in the middle of the shit.
Hey, I do wonder how they used to come up with that with cartoons though, because they would for sure give him a shirt, like to show them, like to make it personable and shit like that. But for sure, no bottom.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
it's still running. Fuck it. I don't know what to do.
Wonder what that psyche was, you know.
Yeah, I ain't gonna sign out. What are we talking about? The Apple announces the products, and then with the products comes their new terms and the new things that they're gonna roll out. And so they're increasing their streaming revenue for artists, for creators, and they're creating a paywall of subscriptions for podcasters. I don't know how many folks got to look into that, but sure as shit, Spotify couldn't help themselves and they had to respond immediately. I just think it's funny. I don't get me wrong. I want to start from a place of gratitude for people's willingness to evolve and think of ways to be inclusive. We're all learning. We call it the Wild Wild West for a reason. But in it being the Wild Wild West, for people's instincts to capitalize and not figure out how to disperse the revenue it just reeks of just being disingenuous. And now we're at this place where shit's gonna change radically again, and the creators have always maintained control, but the awareness of what that control could look like, especially in the spirit of collaborating and not fucking one another over and taking shitty deals that undermines the rest of the creative portion of the industry, right?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like I would say this is probably the first time where it was in unison.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like it's a collective deal. So it forced the hands of. That's the only way that you force the hand of big business. Like
exactly.
Yeah, big companies, they only move when the need only moves when everybody forces that shit. Otherwise, it's like the NCAA, man. Like they keep people in the dark, they will, just keep making money for hella years.
Now we I got approached this week, and it's been happening quite frequently, and I didn't realize what was taking place, and in regards to what's the next steps for the pod. And yeah, we've talked about it loosely, and I have hopes and like a vision of what I would like to see happen, but so much of it is kind of predicated on like the market and but not wanting to be hijacked by being a space for Black growth and evolution and learning. Like that's the driving force for the show. and how, you know, how to do that in the space of scaling. And so when things like this get announced immediately, like I couldn't tell you how many folks I had to text me the terms, like I wasn't, nigga, we were in a meeting watching the fucking Apple seminar shit. Like we had to stop what we were doing just to see, you know. So it's like being aware of it, but and then oh, and that's why I sent you guys or I sent Ellen Poe the Joe conversation with Bruh from Patreon.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of what the conversation was just like the creators and the power. What did y'all take away from the new announcements from all the companies? Because Patreon announced their shit for a couple weeks ago in terms of their next round of funding, and I forget what their evaluation is, however many few billion their new evaluation is after their next round of fucking investors gave them all that bread, so they're operating on a new clip now. Spotify is going to reimagine their shit, but it's totally in response to what Apple's doing. What say y'all? What's going on?
Shit, I mean, you said it. It's a moment in time where uh for the first time, you're not so dependent on somebody controlling your direction. You know, like there's so many different, you're saying this across the board when it comes to subscription-based services, period. How it's getting broken up and how it's becoming more exclusive. Uh, I think everybody's battling out. Joe's talked about this too, like probably about a year or two ago, but what the landscape will be in 5 years, you know, 10 years, 15 years, you know, like it's only going to become even more potent, I would say, on like, you know, individual ideas, people being more open about it, and being able to monetize it in different ways. You know, I don't think it's just going to be one way to do things. Um, I always think about there was one person in this company that did there's an email that went around, and they looked at the email and they was like, and sent it over to the rest of the company. It was like, wait a minute, so yeah, I flagged this person, and please look out for this person because they went through a laundry list of things that they saw on their background or whatever. But then the last thing was that they're 20 years old and they're making more than me. You know what I'm saying? So like that part always stuck out to me because I was like, that's pure hate from somebody that's older, not understanding what the landscape is, that motherfuckers is out here getting it. And if you're growing up in the information age, you have more, like, your learning curve is quicker, you know, so you tend to come across things a lot, you know, you pick up on things a lot quicker, you find ways to make money a lot quicker, which is why the youth, I would say, is more into like socialism and social injustice and stuff like that, because the monetary portion of things doesn't register because that's going to be a given in their age. I think money isn't going to be so hard for them to make. So it makes them more in tune with everything else that's taking place.
Yeah.
You know, if you take money out the equation, what would you be as a human being? You know what I'm saying? And that's really what we're moving towards. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think all the battles are happening right now, yes. But what will the domino effect be for human beings overall if everyone figures out a way to monetize or make money for themselves? Then what are they as people? Now we're not holding on to things as if it's like crabs in a barrel.
You alluded to that last week too, G, and I thought that was such a. I bullshit you not. I walked away and thought about that the rest of the week because it hadn't dawned on me that was a collective thing. Because a lot of times you have a shift or something, you kind of think you're the only one on it. You don't realize that shift is informed by your circle, your surroundings, experiences, somewhat. So it ain't just you that's feeling that way, or it isn't just you that's making that pivot. And when you said it, I started doing an inventory on everybody, just my immediate circle. So y'all two, Freak, Poe. Every time I talk to Morgan, I'm with Kevin Deuce every day. I try to see Kate like three times a week. Like I'm looking at everybody. I'm going, God damn, like ain't nobody is motivated by money, but this is the first time in my life where I've been surrounded by a group of people that aren't hurting or don't know how to go get a buck. If if they are entrepreneurs and living check to check, it's because it's by choice, right? And so the decision making is different. The conversations are different. The bandwidth is different. The joy for doing shit, like I didn't want to I was gonna skip this, but I've had a few run-ins, especially being back on Twitter, where I like, nigga, I know you for real. I'm reading your tweets, and your tweets don't add up to who you are outside for real. All these political, spiritual, woke motherfuckers, like every time I see them, bro, they energy different, or the decisions that they're making behind the scenes when no one is around is not adding up to the spiritual shit that they're kicking. And those motherfuckers are the most deadly and the most toxic to me. Bro, bring all your flaws, bring all your natural energy, good or bad. Cause I could roll with that. Like I could do that. But these motherfuckers that's pretending, bro, be wary of them, bro. Cause they just got they're the ones that are undermining relationships. They're the ones that are undermining getting to the bag. They don't want no money for real. All they want is attention. And that'll kind of soothe that feeling of like, oh, I made it for real. And it's like, bro, that shit seems so backwards. I wholeheartedly thought niggas wanted a bag. And then you start making the right adjustments and putting the right systems and strategy in place to really get to a bag, and you realize it ain't a lot of people moving like that, because what's required of it is some form of structure, it's some form of discipline, it's some form of consistency, and outside of that, it really ain't that hard. Shout out to Core Smith. This nigga goes, yo, your report card is your bank account. I said, fam, hey, relax.
Yeah, relax.
Relax. Because the way my shit's set up, and he's like, nah, but just so you know, watch that shit. Do the you want scoreboard, you want to see the stat sheet, nigga, look at that bank account. Are you doing the right thing? And it's not overnight, but watch how fast it happens when you put those systems in place. And I said, whoo. And then watch how many motherfuckers ain't getting it for real. Say, God, okay, that's what we doing. And so that's really, just peeping the landscape and coming here when we do the show, going, yo, we're doing the right thing, we're on the right path, we're invested. Our IP catalog is stupid. I had somebody hit me about that this week.
We got one of the best catalogs out, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Say hello to my little friend.
We got, hey, I don't care if folks if how many people don't know about it just yet, but they will. We got one of the best catalogs out.
So gee, that's what's so dope. I'm in fucking Target this morning. I'm in Houston, by the way. I'm in Target. OG, man, where I know you. Yeah, you don't know me, Playboy. There is no way you know me. I'm from North Carolina. I don't know nothing about any sets. Like not. He like, nah, fam. I'm on FaceTime with moms. He's like, nah, bro. I know you for real. Like, what? And I'm like, nah. So I leave, go to the car. I'll forget the face mask, and I go back in. He said, meet the brave. I said, oh shit. Like, but it's, just again, but is this 153 or 154?
153, right?
153, bro. To be in a place that you're not from, that you don't frequent, but to have the word of mouth spread that way, and it be real genuine. But it's never on no vanity. It's never on no bullshit. It's because we showed up as who we are and keeping in a being. But our true, we just moving in our love for Black folks. B Walk hit me, said Bird, JG, and Tim pulled up on him in Portland. He didn't know the niggas was there. And
Yeah.
he's like, all niggas did was sit around and talk about the pod. I'm like, yo, that's wild. Like, cause you gotta think, G, like how often do people do stuff and the niggas that stay niggas don't fuck with what they're creating? You know what I'm saying? It's
All the time.
and so
Constantly.
I always said it's like all of the strangers fucking with it. I don't get me wrong, y'all. I absolutely appreciate the people we haven't met yet, and my hopes is that we do get to meet most of you guys and tap in and actually build a rapport, because that's the whole point. But the fact that my mom, my partners listen, like my friends, my contemporary, like they listen to the show and tap in and go, Brett, thank y'all for that. Hey, tell L thank you. I needed that perspective. I always say it ain't fuck the message. It really is who's saying it. And so the role, the not the role, the image of L that people have built in their brains, because they have forever put him up on this pedestal. The way he's stripped all that away and come at it the most human way, bro, is the most potent of forms of leadership in my book, because it's not predicated on this myth of like, oh, that nigga better than us, so he got to do that. Like it absolves everybody of the responsibility of doing the work. And I talked to Britt for a second via DM. I want to salute them on episode 2 because it was another fucking banger.
Fire.
That shit was unreal. But the reason your episode on that show was so important because it absolves niggas of all that shit where they going of all the responsibility of getting to the work. It's like, nah, this nigga L's talking about nigga like ego death for real. Like everybody, and that's back to them fake woke niggas on Twitter talking all that shit. Now you ain't done it for real, because you all the shit you kicking right now, bro. Once you go through that ego death shit, you have no desire to try to fucking preach to nobody.
Yeah, you're not trying to prove a thing.
You're not trying to prove nothing. It's not you. Your concept of good and bad has completely been kicked in the nuts. So you don't know what's what no more. Bro, I can't judge shit no more. and I want to be, because niggas is like, oh, you don't want to say shit. No, I'm like, nah, nigga, I genuinely don't know. Like I mean that to the core.
Yeah, it's not a protecting a relationship type deal. It's more so niggas know what go into this for real.
It's not protected nothing. So if fam went to the studio, got the beat, recorded it, had it mixed, had it mastered, and put that shit out, and it got a few million listens, my nigga, guess what? Ain't shit I can say, dog, because I'm working on, I'm knocking on the door album number fucking 8, nigga, and that shit ain't happening.
Okay, Monty. So are you changing your tune when it comes to the baby?
Yeah,
Okay.
The baby did what was his intro on Kirk.
Okay.
I was you got me, champ, for a fan forever. Like ain't shit I can say, because you tapping into that. All right, bet you got it. Hey, don't ever press me about the baby either.
Hey, I got one question for y'all.
Yo.
You notice in all these meetings, ain't nobody still told us the like the price of a podcast, like how much one is worth. And you notice Joe stopped even asking that question
because he found out,
and he told the people.
Okay, so see, we was gonna stay off Joe today, but you did it, Lex. So I have to fight Joe for the culture. I have to. Like for every when I see him, I'm gonna hug him. I'm gonna dap him up and tell him I love him. Now shoot me this. I'm gonna give him the fairness of like, let's shoot this fair one right now. Drop your shit. Let's go. Because you full of shit.
He made it into the house, and now he watches the door.
He made it in the house and bolted that motherfucker. and is looking out the window like Samuel on Django. They coming.
Nah,
They
that nigga
coming.
did it.
Keep them out.
That nigga did it like the horror movies. Like nigga, that nigga ran in the house and he even left his partners outside. It was just
Yeah, what?
Ooh.
Got caught up in the
Ooh.
mist.